Hello everybody, this is the Johnny Mayor, and welcome back to Final Fantasy VI Advance and my walkthrough. So we are almost done with Kefka's Tower. Some of you might recognize this area from earlier in the game, and that little area I just went down into is the location of a secret item from the Magitech research facility. And I'm not sure if it's still actually there if you wait until now to get it, but since I did get it earlier, it's pretty much a moot point. And this last item up here is actually one of the last we're going to be getting in this area, the pinwheel. So not much left to do. A little bit of slowdown. There's a lot going on the screen. And that's just about it. As you can see, we're in the area with my other two parties. Hey guys. So let us figure out what we have to do next. We have to come up here and step on this switch and then decide which way to go. And so I contemplated for a while and decided to go to the left. Now, ultimately, we do have to stand on this switch to the north, but first, let's come back here and push this 4-ton weight down onto that switch that Edgar's party is on. And I'm not exactly sure how you can push a 4-ton weight. Adrenaline, perhaps? Yeah, I guess we'll go with that. And now that we did that, Edgar no longer needs to stand on that switch. So we're going to head back with Mog's party. I'm going to de-equip them. And we're going to continue onward with Edgar's party. So instead of going left up here, we're going to go to the right. And step on that switch. Eventually. But of course first, we're going to get into a random battle. No thank you. But we're going to push this other weight and hopefully not crush Gogo and his party. Nice little look there, Edgar. Nice. And yes, that is the same sprite that Ultros tried to push on Celeste earlier in the game at the Opera House. And last but not least, we head up with our third party and step on the middle switch. I'm going to do some re-equipping of all of my different characters. Alright, so I equipped Gogo, and I'm going to head forward. And we get to take on the Guardian again. Remember this guy from in front of the Imperial Castle in Vector? Well, now he can actually be destroyed, unlike then. And he uses a variety of different attack programs. He'll switch it up and try different things and throw them at you. And actually, a Thundaga might be enough to do max damage. And he's got some other attacks that are kind of bad. Some launcher attacks, missiles. He's got some status ailments. Nothing incredibly scary, but he does have a lot of HP. Probably around 50 or 60,000, I would guess. So it's going to take a little while to whittle that down. Now, not terribly long if we're doing 10,000 damage per attack, but a little bit longer than the enemies we've already taken on. Makes you wonder why it was built with that feet at the bottom. Not sure if that is feet or if that's just a stand of some kind that it's on. But it is kind of human-shaped. With the arms and then the head. Yeah. Take some shurikens. And I might as well save some MP. And just cast Thundaga. And Ultima, of course. Can't have a fight without Ultima. There we go, already down. Alright, and so the only thing standing between us now and our final encounter with Kefka are the Warring Triad, the 3 statues themselves. And so each of our parties has to take on one of the statues. So I'm going to save, I'm going to re-equip my parties, and then one by one we're going to take on each of the different statues. First, let's head down here and make sure we hit this switch back here. And you have to do this to activate those doors, otherwise you cannot progress with your other two parties. And I'm going to use the save glitch here to make sure that with my other parties I can save and also use tents. Just in case something bad would happen. I don't envision something bad happening. These aren't really hard. But, you know, I like to be cautious. So let's take on the first one. Now, if you are into collecting Strago's lures, you need to keep in mind that the last one you can get, Force Field, is actually from this enemy. So if you do want to get it, you have to make sure that Strago's in the party that goes left. So he either has to be in Party 1 or Party 3. So if he is in Party 1, then obviously you just head to the left like I did with Mog's party. But if he is in Party 3, then when you have Mog, you want to, or whatever your first party is, you want to head to the right. So that will activate Party 3 and let them through so that they can go to the left. And we're just going to cast Ultima at this guy. Use my strongest attacks. This party hasn't seen much action, so I did equip them with all relics and, you know, espers and such, just so they can get some AP towards the different spells. Most of these characters are not very powerful. They're not my main party. But they should be good enough to take this guy out. His name is Fiend, I think, in this version. I think it was Doom in the original version. So if you do want to learn Force Field, again, make sure Strago's in this party that you attack him with. You don't want to go super fast, because if you kill him off before you can cast it, obviously you won't learn it. And you'll know it's coming by this little flashing. His aura is trembling violently. And that is Force Field. It's kind of pointless in my opinion. It just makes you less susceptible to certain attacks. And I think it's randomly determined, so whatever. You can go after it if you want. I don't. And this guy should be close to being done. Pretty cool looking though. Kind of that gargoyle look. On top of, bones maybe? Or other creatures? Can't quite tell. Alright, you gonna survive this big U? Wow. Okay. He's got a lot of HP. And down he goes. Even with my weakest party, took him out in a little bit. Probably what, 2 or 3 minutes? Yeah, over-leveling in this game, especially using your Esper bonuses appropriately, helps a lot. Hey, we got a new sword. That's one of the statues down. 2 to go. This sword is for Cyan, I think, actually, and it's his best sword in the game. So pretty nice. So I'm gonna re-equip my party, and I will see you guys in a little bit. After I save and use a tent. Aw, his tent is white. That's nice, and a little pink ball on the top. How appropriate. And I decided to just head up. This is ultimately where we need to go, these switches up here. So now, re-equip this party and we're gonna head forward. And of course, we're gonna get into some random battles. Nothing new. Mechanical enemies. Yojimbos. You've seen them before. Hey, Go-Go. And, we, in this party, get to take on the Goddess. And, for whatever reason, they decided to give us a pincer attack on it. That's a pretty cool sprite as well. Kind of reminiscent of Final Fantasy X, in my opinion. And a certain fight at a certain Xanarkand. But you guys know the drill. Bum Rush. I'm gonna see if I can steal from her. I don't even know if she has anything valuable. But otherwise, it's just gonna be a lot of Ultima. Oh. And Locke is the only one not wearing a ribbon. So of course he fell asleep. Look at those backward Z's. Yeah, I have the Genji glove and the Master Scroll unlocked, so he is susceptible to status ailments. Everyone else isn't. How long are you gonna last, Goddess? You can throw your little thunder spells at us all you want. It's not gonna help you. That's cool. Kind of phasing through her. Can you take a bum rush and survive? What do you think, viewers? I think she's done for. Yeah. Down she goes. Goodbye, scantily clad woman. Alright, that's 2. So that just leaves 1 more to go. We're making short work of them. Hey, and we got Excalibur. A lot easier than some of the other games, like Final Fantasy IV, for example, to get it. Alright. So I'm going to use this save point as a base of sorts, so that I can head forward Gogo's group and finish off his tower and make sure I save right before it. Just in case, of course. So here we go, the final statue. It's actually at the top of the tower, at the peak, basically, of it. And down here is a hidden item, my 5th ribbon. Alright, let's do this. Demon. Also known as Poltergeist, I think, in the original. And now what's fun about this guy is that he's actually susceptible to stop in the original. But I figure that's kind of cheap to cast it on him and basically paralyze him so that he can't do anything. And I don't even have it with some of my characters, so we'll just whittle him down. And he did cast it on Terra there, which is why she's got that pink outline. So I'm going to cast a spell on her to get rid of that. And then we'll commence with the Ultima. And see how long this guy can last. He's got that really cool axe in his hand. It's like the size of 3 of us on top of each other's shoulders. That Fire 3 spell did a lot of damage to Gogo. Not too much to worry about here. They don't really have super powerful attacks for whatever reason. I mean, they have some decent ones, Flare, you know, the highest level elemental attacks, but that's about it. And a physical attack apparently that I blocked. And I guess he's considered floating, since that didn't hit him. Well, it does look like he's kind of over a crevice, doesn't it, in the ground there? That's weird. He does have the big wings, so... Nope, still not dead. That's right, cast those at my 2 Minerva wearers that are immune to elemental attacks. Except water, as I found out against Leviathan. That will not avail you. Come on, finish him off. Boom. Alright, viewers, that's it. All we have left is the big boss himself, a final showdown and the real showdown with Kefka. And we are gonna take on that amazing battle and see what he's got to offer us in my next episode. But first... throws us backwards for some reason. And the power of magic doesn't disappear. Weird. Maybe Kefka has extracted it all into his own being. Well, that's good for our fight against him, I guess. But let's head forward with Edgar, step on the switch. In my next episode, we will take on Kefka and hopefully put an end to his madness. So as always, viewers, thank you for watching, and I will see you all in my next episode. So long.